You say the thing?
Oh, grid is clear. Fire away.
Yeah. Hey, Hannah, what does that mean?
So when I was hosting the World Long Drive Competition Championship.
Congrats on that.
Thank you so much. That is what I would say to each golfer before they could hit the ball. They actually weren't allowed to hit the ball before I said that because it lets them know in the booth to start their timer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a rule. I thought it was just a cool catchphrase.
No, it's 100. The first time I did it, I said, grid is clear, fire when ready, and I got scolded. You can't. You have to say fire away because it lets them know to start the clock.
Got it.
I was hoping they were going to give you a gun to shoot.
I asked for one, and they said no.
They said we don't do guns.
Not because they didn't like guns. They just said we don't have that many bullets.
Do they say that? We love guns.
They said we love guns. We all
Direct
have one.
quote.
Everyone in the room went, I got one right here. And they go, we don't have enough blanks for you to fire it off 100
It's an
times.
ammunition shortage.
This is our World Long Drive episode.
Hey.
We have not only the MC of the event,
No big deal.
Hannah,
Yep.
Martin Borgmeier. How do you say it?
Borgmeier.
Borgmeier.
Yeah.
Borgmeier.
If you say it in like kind of a cool, intimidating German way. You try it? Retry it?
Borgmeier.
That was the scaredest I've ever been of you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
terrifying.
I just watched the new Indiana Jones movie. So
yeah.
I got
Good.
Got my German pretty
Yeah.
good.
Martin Borgmeier, who is the 2022 world champion.
He is.
He joined us last week in studio, and he was a blast.
He was also so tall.
So big.
Strong.
It was the only time I've worried about the structural integrity of our furniture here.
Yeah. If
Didn't
you're
you
only
find out you guys weigh the same?
Yeah, we do. It's like Tim Tebow is 6'3", 250. Same. Those are the only stats that matter. I'm pretty much the same as Martin as well. He's 1 inch taller, but we weigh the same.
Yeah. Same body for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're only listening to this, Martin sat in this chair and you're kind of like, that doesn't work. It looks, he doesn't fit.
Yeah. If you're watching the video too, he's very folded. He's an origami German boy.
Yeah. He really, his like leg is up.
Yeah, his legs up
And I'm
so
like,
high.
Also, what's the World Long Drive Competition?
That's
Oh.
some
Should
people might
probably
be wondering.
Discuss that.
Sorry, everyone. I just assumed you know.
If you're listening to a golf podcast, you might kind of know what a long drive is.
Yeah, I mean, I've known for a long time, not just before our episode last time.
yeah.
It's really cool. We went
is
to it.
cool.
It was freaking awesome. But basically, it's just who can hit the ball the furthest as long as it's also straight.
Yeah, that was the thing. The biggest thing for me learning is that they have, it's only like 40 yards. You have to get it within 40 yards.
40
It's
yards
not
wide, yeah.
40 yards wide. You can't just rip it out there and it has to be straight.
Yeah, that's a big issue is going OB. Martin talks about it a little bit, but Kyle Berkshire, spoiler alert, won his third
You're drunk.
title. Yeah, I'm so drunk. He almost got eliminated in one of the first couple rounds because his first
did.
5 balls were OB, and his last one, which won and helped him advance, was only like 5 feet in from the boundary.
Yeah.
It was very close.
It was far though too. I remember that one because it was like 432 yards, but pressure
big
was
time.
on the line. It was fun.
I mean, there are people hitting it 500 yards. What was the longest one this week?
452 yards.
452.
Yeah.
That's
I'm sure they've hit it farther, but that's still pretty far. I think it was James Tate who hit it that far.
Yeah. That's, and especially for here, because I know some of the other events are like in Nevada or
More
higher
arid.
elevations, more arid,
arid.
whatever.
I don't know if
Arid.
that's right.
Arid's bad.
I think arid helps.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How's
Arid
your experience out there?
It was great. It was really fun. It felt so like I had someone who, my partner in crime, Ryan Reesbeck, also the senior division champion, very good at hitting the ball. It was kind of fun. I felt like a real powerful gal because we had little earpieces and he's like whispering in my ear and he's like, this was the distance. It was felt like cool. I was like watching the ball and then I'd have someone in my ear being like, you got to say this, you got to say that. I felt very powerful.
It was very fun to watch you up there because you were doing such a good job and you had to be talking the whole time.
Yeah, it was a
Anytime
lot.
anything happened or was about to happen, you had to make an announcement or say what happened. But you could tell there was that guy standing next to you that knew all about what was happening. And it was reminding me of Veep, how Gary would whisper in the president's ear everything she needed
100%.
to say. But you're the mouthpiece. And
She's like, who is that? And he's like leaning in, giving her something. That's 100% what it
Yeah, why
was.
did they just give him the mic?
Good question.
I
Don't-
mean, you think people can just do what Hannah does?
Yeah, actually, you're right. I because not everyone's as charming as me.
It's charisma.
It is charisma. I do. It kind of haunted me how you said your phrase too, because you said it the same every time. Grid is clear. Fire away.
Yeah, very consistent.
Every single time.
And then I would intentionally, I don't know if you guys caught this, but I was doing it for my own. But when they would go OB, I'd go, OB left. Like really monotone.
Yeah.
Like get really excited and then be like, OB left.
That was good. It sounded like a pro.
You're right.
But
Yeah,
we
we
left.
didn't want to sound excited that they failed.
Yeah, of course not.
You know, you want to be like, I have to say that was very bad, but you got another one?
Yep. My favorite thing going up, like we were preparing and running rehearsals the day of, and one of the producers said, how good is your eyesight? And I was like, I guess we'll find out, because you're watching those balls go and some of them you lose them.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to have that guy, because he was talking to the people on the grid and I'm like, I lost it. I
Got
have no
it.
idea if it's in or out.
I need you to know too that I was at the range. We were shooting content next to all the participants up there, and the PA was going the whole time.
Oh.
So for the rehearsals, whoever did the national anthem did the entire national anthem in rehearsals, and everyone stopped. No one
On the driving range?
Yeah, it was
Everyone's
2
like, we
hours
don't know what
before
to
the
do.
event, and everyone was like, just had to slowly stop. Even like the Japanese dude, I forget his name. He's so good. Everyone had to stop and be like, I guess we're doing this now. It
Yeah.
was very funny.
Do you have to be reverent for the national anthem if it's a practice?
No, but we didn't know it was practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about the
That is
national
true.
anthem. It'll
I
sneak
feel like
up
you're
on
still
you.
like, this is still the song. Are we supposed to take our hats off?
It feels
Yeah.
like a curse. Like if you cover your heart, but it's at practice,
Yeah.
that's a spy move.
Feels like it undoes it.
And if you do that, you're
Spy move.
Yeah, I don't know.
you're protecting your heart from potential love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't ever do that.
Well, now that you are BFFs with Martin after last week, did y'all get to hang out a little bit at the event or no?
No, sadly, no. I tried to. He's also pretty professional. Like he was like in the zone. He's so fun with the crowd, which is why, spoiler, he doesn't make it to the finals. But it was such a bummer because on Saturday he gets so into it with the crowd.
Yeah.
He's so fun to watch and the audience loves him. So I was cheering for him, but Sunday, no, not too much.
He's a star.
He's a showman.
He's a showman.
And he's trying to grow the game.
Yeah, borderline the greatest
Hashtag grow the game.
showman.
Yeah.
No,
Greatest.
that's Zac Efron.
Hugh Jackman.
Damn it.
They get confused all the time. People are always like, who is that guy in High School Musical? Hugh Jackman? Is he still with Vanessa Hudgens?
Is he still trying to date Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah. You remember when Wolverine and Vanessa Hudgens were in that movie?
Yeah.
I was attended the long drive competition. It was fun because you guys were both like working on stuff, and Anna and I just got to walk around and enjoy it. And all I could think the whole time is how funny of an event it would be for there to be a streaker, like sporting event wise, because there's so much open space, but it's not near the audience at all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so far
just
away.
be in the distance, people would just be like, "Is that a naked person running around?"
You see for a
There's
second,
like-
they just run down the grid.
yeah, and you could kind of just keep doing the competition because you'd be like, "Yeah, if it hits that guy, that'll be hilarious."
but
But
unlikely.
probably won't.
Unlikely it'll hit him, so just keep doing what you're doing.
We should tell Martin that's another spicy thing they could add to the broadcast.
Add a
The naked
streaker.
guy running zigzag.
Yeah, if you hit him, you get like 50 extra yards.
Yeah.
That should just be a part of the competition. Yeah, that'd be great. If someone's out there running and streaking, and if a golfer hits him, $20,000 to charity of your choice.
I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Streaking for
That
a
rules.
cause.
Streaking for a cause.
Wow.
I wouldn't say charity too. Some of these folks have like full-time jobs.
Oh, they just get to keep
it's
the
still-
money?
Yeah, they should keep it.
All right.
They should keep it. Sean Johnson, who's in the final.
Great head of hair. I kept.
He's the man. And
He's
we
the
met
man.
on the range and he came up, likes our stuff. And I just asked him where he lives. He's like, oh yeah, I sell wine in Sacramento. And I was like, oh.
Cutie.
and he's like, yeah, I just work for whatever distributor.
He was such a good sport when I was like introducing him, and I was like, Sean Johnson, my personal favorite head of hair on the tournament. He laughed really hard, and then he was talking to me about it. He's like, that was really funny. And I was like, I can sleep tonight. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah. I also appreciate how you were throwing out t-shirts to the crowd and a guy took it from someone and you called him out and it was very funny.
I roasted him hard, and
happened?
then I watched the shame take over his face. Some man I like saw a woman who was like, I want to, and she's just been so sweet. She was dancing, and I like threw it to her, and he reached up and stole it from her. And then I was like, "What's your name? What is your name, sir?" And then I put him on blast. I was like, "Your name, Alex? I'm gonna remember that. Everyone tell Alex he did a good job."
Everybody congratulate Alex on his new T-shirt he really wanted so bad.
His new Monster Energy drink T-shirt.
Hey, Alex,
Woman's
congrats.
medium t-shirt.
Hey, Alex, hold it up for everybody so they can see the thing you cared so much about that you disrespected that woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think he felt the shame.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
left.
he felt it. I felt it from afar and I didn't even see the
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. All right. Shall we kick it over to Martin?
Yes.
Let's kick it.
Martin Borgmeier You're going to love him. He is a great ambassador for the sport, hits the ball a long way. Good looking, massive German man. Watch the video if you want. It's not bad to look at.
No, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I recommend the video for this one.
For sure. You also want to see big guy in a little chair. It's funny.
So funny.
You want to say your thing?
Oh, yeah. Grid is clear. Fire away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the St. Andre podcast. First up to tea is Martin Borgmeier. Hey! I like that I was very American with your first name, but Borgmeier. I really leaned into it.
One of the best intros I've ever gotten. That was pretty good.
Standing at
Borgmeier.
6'5"?
6'4".
Standing at 6'5", 225 pounds?
Come on.
She does this for all our guests. She guesses their weight.
293 pounds.
35.
235?
Yeah.
I love that I was off by 10 pounds and you were like, come on.
Come on, it's 10 pounds.
Yeah, you're right.
225 would be like, me being sick for a month.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't understand.
I also appreciate just those two stats because I'm 6'3", 250. So just those two stats, we're pretty close.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, we have the same body.
Exact same.
As long as you don't
bodies.
see us or encounter us in any way, we're the same.
The 250 is my goal for the off season.
Cool. Yeah, maybe you'll have my
Maybe
body one day if
240.
you try hard enough.
Picture of
But you're gonna have to
Aaron on
really
your
work
wall.
for
I'll get
it.
some tips from you throughout the off season now.
Yeah. On your vision board, just pictures of Aaron.
Kinda.
I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks.
World Long Drive Championship in a couple
Heyo.
days. How's the city been so far?
Amazing. I got here 3 days ago, and all I did was chill out so far. All I saw was driving ranges and the Bobby Jones golf course. But this is actually the first time I went downtown, and it looked amazing. We were passing some really cool places. Like I saw the Olympic rings and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I remembered Atlanta, the Olympic Games. When was it? 2000 and.
No, 1992.
Oh, really?
96?
1992?
96.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
96? Mm-hmm. Okay. 90. Okay.
I know that
And
because my mom ran the Olympic torch. in
when was
96.
Are you
that,
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Yeah, so that back during that time, people in the communities would nominate everyone there, like, because they walked it, and they'd pass it off. And my mom got nominated by our community. Everyone's like,
That's cool.
Barb rules.
How many people you think got to do that in the United States?
I don't know. She ran it for like a mile. Like, it wasn't very long, and they were passing up. So it was a fair amount, but
Yeah.
still pretty cool.
No, it's so cool.
Yeah, we have the Olympic torch at our house. She has it like hanging up.
She kept it?
Yeah, they let her keep it.
Is it still burning?
Yeah,
has
it's
to.
still burning. Our
It's an
my
eternal
dad.
flame.
That's my dad's whole job. He just keeps lighting it.
Yeah.
She's like, Tom, get in there and light the torch.
The Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, we haven't
rose
taken a
is always-
vacation since 1996.
Nah,
You gotta keep this.
it's
Where
what keeps them alive.
where in Germany are you from?
I live in Munich.
Okay.
I'm from Paderborn, Germany. Nobody knows Paderborn, Germany. That's why I say I'm from Munich, Germany.
Yeah.
And I live there for 5 years now.
Got it.
Yeah, and that's where I practice. That's where I do most of my stuff. That's where my business is registered and like all this stuff. So I'm from Munich.
Okay.
Oh,
and then
cool.
how far is Paddington from?
What was
from
that?
Munich?
Did you just call it
You said from
Paddington?
Paderborn. It's pretty
Paderborn,
close.
okay.
Pretty close. But it's a
Little bear,
1 hour
yeah.
flight, 6 hour drive.
Okay.
Kind of. So it's pretty far.
Got it. Okay.
Speaking in German, like distances, right? So it's in American distances, it's
Not far at all.
It's not that far.
Yeah, it's like
but
going to Nashville.
It's
No big
all across the country.
Wait, so German distances are different than
Oh
American
yeah,
distances?
by far.
Your
A lot.
miles are actually like 4.
She's never been to
first
Europe.
off, we go
I
in
have.
kilometers, right?
Oh.
We don't do miles. We don't do the weird system you're doing over here. We do the one that actually makes sense.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah, because kilometers
A lot
is
easier
like
math.
kilo is like 1,000 meters. So kilo means 1,000, and that's 1,000 makes sense, right?
Can you do the math above his head when he does that
This is
stuff?
every episode.
So the one that makes sense. And it's just like over here, the country is just so big that whenever you have to drive for like 10 hours and nothing's going on the road for like 8 of those 10 hours, it's not that big of a drive, right?
So you're not really like a fan of like long drives?
I am.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
You have to be excited for it. You're like,
Yeah.
"I love
Admit it.
He admitted
That was
it."
pretty good.
I'm a big fan of drives that I can hit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Not the road trips. Yeah.
I want to know about Lil Martin. Just were you always huge and hitting drives? Were you playing other sports? What was Little Martin like?
Yeah, I mean, in Germany, I grew up in Germany and
In Paderborn.
in Paderborn, and especially in Paderborn, golf is not really a thing, right? There's maybe, when I was like 12, 13, 14 years old, there was maybe 3 kids that played golf, and I was one of them. And on a national level, maybe when I was 14, 15, I call it a mediocre minus, right? I was kind of okay. There was maybe 200 kids that were pretty okay. I was maybe in the top 30. And some of those guys that were like in the top 10 now play on the European Tour, DP World Tour, PGA Tour, whatever. Martin Keimer was one of them. He was 2 years older than me, but he was kind of in that circle as well. But it's not a thing. And it's totally different compared to the States, right? Because over here, sports in general is very connected to the school, right? In Germany, that's not a thing. It's your private stuff you do or you don't. And, well, that's why it's not really, that big. And then, I played basketball for quite some time and did a bunch of different sports.
What position were you?
Fourth. I always want to play 3, right? I always want to play like small forward and actually shoot. But my coach really didn't let me because I'm
so tall.
6'4".
You're 6'5".
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm 6'5", and so I had to play 4, if not 5. So, I had to be the rebound machine, and they never let me throw. So it's like,
That's tough. I was also a 3'4", so I get it. They're like, you shoot from 10 feet in or nothing at all.
yeah, like elbow shots were okay.
Yeah.
kind of. Right?
Basically, Martin and I are the same person.
And we have the same body. It's great.
And we have the same
Yeah,
body.
Yeah, I can figure out what me and Martin's thing is still, but I feel like we're getting
Probably facial hair.
If
you let it grow.
Well, I
You'll
shaved
figure it out.
last night.
Wait, so you're saying, so you played basketball and cut you off because I was so curious.
Yeah, I mean, long story short is then I started working a regular job. I did my bachelor's degree, master's degree. I worked in IT sales for 8 years and played golf like one day with clients and colleagues. And I outdrove all these like 65-year-olds.
These chumps.
Which is not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Like, I mean,
Their bodies are failing.
Well, they drive it like 150.
Yeah,
like
of course.
160.
Old man
Like,
golf.
if
Yeah.
I would not
man.
outdrive them with like a 7-iron, something would be completely wrong, right?
Yeah.
You're playing from the white tees with them.
I hope this motivates some 60-year-old out there to be like, I will be better than everyone on St. Andre because they're making me feel like my body's
There's like an
failing.
old guy division. We'll get to that.
The old
Really?
guy division.
Sorry, no.
Yeah,
the champions tour division. I can't remember the name.
Well, they used to call it the Masters division.
Oh, okay.
But now they call it the Seniors division.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a burn.
Oh, yeah.
What a burn.
There's so many ambulances on standby right there. Just like load them up.
They get senioritis in there.
They're actually pretty impressive when you watch them. I mean, Eddie Fernandez, he's still like 215, 220 ball speed. He hits at 400 yards. So, I mean,
I thought you were saying 215 yards.
And he's
I was like,
53.
that's not impressive. 53.
years old. Wow. All right. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to play as a senior at 53. Mm-hmm. That's
what's
brutal.
the cutoff?
45 plus.
That's senior?
What the?
45.
I'm a decade away from being a senior.
Yeah, dude.
You are a senior now.
Better get your long drive.
Start
career in
working now.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Oh my goodness. That hurts.
I don't like that. But so back then, early, right out of college, 22, 23.
Yeah,
How
kinda.
far were you driving the ball? Just normal playing golf.
Well, 300 yards maybe.
Cool.
So I was in numbers, in club speed and ball speed numbers, I was around 120 club speed, 180 ball speed. So fairly fast for a golfer.
Yeah.
Right. So that was really good, but nowhere close to long drive. So then at some point, one of these guys, like on my team, because I joined the team fairly quickly, because all these golf clubs, they suck, right? In golf, like as soon as you're a 5 handicap, you're like, hey, come on, be on the team, right? You can shoot 80, be on the team, right? So I shot a couple like 78s or whatnot, and all of a sudden I was on the team, and then these guys actually signed me up for the first German long drive competition in 2017.
Oh, wow.
Because they were like, you got to go there. You hit it so far, you got to go. You got to try. And then for the first time, I heard of long drive, and I got my first long drive club off eBay for 38 euros. I still remember. It was a Brute long driver with a House of Ford shaft, 48 and a half inches. So the old 50 inches or whatever it was. It was illegal. It was actually not even legal, but they didn't check during that competition. So just play with it.
It was
Came second.
for sale by some 45-year-old that had finished his career.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
He's like, well, I guess can't use this anymore now that I'm an old man.
Probably, actually.
Wait, so there's a different club for long drives?
Well, there is and there is not. I mean, they're completely legal, right? Because they're up to 48 inches long.
Sam. Sorry.
I thought you're like 6'4".
Yeah.
No, explain it.
No, I was
Explain
talking
it to
about
him.
my height.
Explain
What were
the
we
joke.
talking about?
Explain
Martin's
the
talking.
joke.
Shut up.
So look, I said we're using the metric system, right? It's 121 centimeters long, and the club head is perfectly legal, but the loft is simply a little bit lower. So we go down to like 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees of loft, and that driver I just got as my first long drive driver was 5.5 degrees.
And what is the normal degrees for
I
a
like
driver?
10, maybe
Okay. Yeah.
around
So
10,
way
9.5
more,
or
yeah.
like that's like
Right.
the off the shelf
9.5?
driver. You're a 9.5.
He's
Yeah,
a
I think we're
9.5.
making penis jokes. Is that what we're doing?
You started
You
it, dude.
started
I don't
it.
know.
I did. You just, okay.
You're the one
I
that's
didn't
always
even
like,
get it.
keep it
Yeah,
clean.
yeah,
We want to
yeah.
have
He said
sponsors. Then
he
you're
said
just,
he was
We don't-
48
I don't think we need
inches
to
as
recap.
well.
I don't think we need to recap.
Which means he thinks he's
But
got a
48
leg.
inches, that's such
A
a
third leg.
bad penis joke because it's not even close. I mean, there's not a
would-
penis
maybe for
out
you,
there.
Martin.
Not even in
We just
centimeters.
met, dude.
There's not a penis out there that's 48 centimeters.
that would
Never
ruin,
one that you've met.
Aaron, it would
Long
it
Dong
would ruin
Silver
your
was
life.
32 centimeters, okay?
Long Dong Silver.
You don't know Long Dong Silver?
No.
Long John Silver had a 32-inch
Is
penis.
this a German
No, not
celebrity?
inch, centimeters.
Oh, I was going to say, call a doctor.
Okay.
All right.
Man,
So yeah, you were
So
playing
I got
like
that
a,
was just
driver.
his leg.
Right, so
That
it's
was
like-
just his leg, and he was confused.
Yeah, so I got that driver, and I came second in that event because I went OB in the final. Because it was great. It was so much fun. I beat a bunch of pros, and they all were like, "Dude, you got to take this seriously because you're just pretty good already." And yeah, then worked throughout the winter. That was in September, and then in March the next year, I started on the European tour, and eventually I turned it. Well, I won the Order of Merit of that tour. I won 5 times on that tour, whatever. So I felt like I was ready to make it out to the US and try to compete out here because that's where the sport is, right? Yeah. And then in 2019, made 3 TV events, was fairly okay. My best finish was a runner-up. And then COVID hit and everything kind of
stopped.
sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then came back 2021. Came third at Worlds. Last year won it. It was great. And here I am talking to you guys.
yeah.
That's pretty
amazing.
good. Heck yeah.
I did figure out what y'all have in common.
Oh, okay.
Andrew was just a funny accountant. He was just a funny financial guy. And then a competition popped up that was the South's funniest accountant. And his friends were like, you got to do that. And so he did it and won. And now he's a full-time stand-up comic.
Is he doing all your numbers as well?
I wish.
Should.
You don't want me to do your
I
numbers.
wish.
Although who's it, Robbie right
It is
now?
Robbie
Actually,
on
I
our
could
team.
probably do Robbie.
You probably
that.
should.
But same thing.
Maybe I
You were
should
just
just
you hit the
audit
ball
Robbie.
far.
Yeah.
You know, and a competition popped up, and your friends were like, "You got to do that." Look at that. Y'all the same
Pretty
origin
good. All right,
story.
now we're
There we
all
go.
connected.
So same, but way
Is there
different.
like a cool German word that means like we're connected now?
What is brothers? In German?
Schwanzbruder.
Schanzfuda.
Schwanzbruder.
Yeah.
Schwanzbruder.
Pretty sure that was a
Is
horrific
that a word for
slur.
all the Germans watching right now? Did I make up that word? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
There's one guy being like, liar. Our one German listener
I was
is
about
like,
to say
liar.
Blutsbruder, but that's not really it, is it? Okay.
I just know from the World War II movies, schnell means hurry.
Yeah.
That's the only
Quick.
German word.
It's
I-
like
quick.
quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Okay.
To go back to what you're saying about your first tournament you're in, you said you finished second because you went OB
Yeah.
in the champion. So
What does that mean?
yeah,
Out
so
of
I know
bounds.
obviously you got to hit it a long way, but you got to keep it within
Yes.
a certain. So yeah, tell us about that.
So we hit our shots into a grid, which is basically a fairway, right? Depending on where you hit, it's like it might be because, for example, in Mesquite, where the World Championship traditionally was over the last couple of years, it's basically a soccer pitch and they paint a grid. So out here at Bobby Jones, it's a fairway, but they paint a grid, which is a box, which is around 55 yards wide out here at Bobby Jones. Because it is a fairway, it is not perfectly flat. There's a couple humps and bumps in there, and like you gotta find the right side of the grid and like all that stuff. So it's kind of tricky. We still got to figure it out, but you got to keep it within the lines to qualify for a drive. So everything that is not within the lines is OB, and we're hitting 6 balls a set. So when you hit all these balls out of bounds, your set is considered OB. And that's what I did at my first tournament in the final. It was great. But that grid was only 40 yards wide. So they made it kind of tough.
That is tight.
And I imagine your first few, you're like, I'm just going to hit as far as I can and be a little less concerned about, hopefully I get one of these in. But then when it gets to your sixth one and they've all gone out of bounds, that has to be like another level of like thinking about it, I'd imagine.
Well, especially with my experience back in the day, I don't think I thought about like anything.
You're just like, I didn't even set up for this.
Hitting golf balls, I was happy making contact, right? And now it's a little different. I mean, there's different strategies to it. You'll see over the next couple of days. There's going to be a few OB sets. It's fairly normal. It's a part of the game.
Yeah.
And you just gotta figure out a way how to bounce back from these like OB sets. It happens.
Yeah. Do you adjust halfway through a set? You know, if your first 4 are OB, do you take 3% off to try to hit it straighter, or you're going to swing your swing and just hope one goes?
You're asking the
straight?
right question, because I've tried a bunch of different things.
Okay.
And well, from my experience, the less you think about what you've done, the better you do.
Oh my God, what
So
a metaphor for life.
Yeah,
Have no regrets.
Don't think about anything. Just do it, babe.
Burn
Can
it
we get that
down.
on the wall?
Burn
behind
it
us
down,
for the
and who
rest?
cares? I'm gonna take that with me forever. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna start thinking less and less.
Go
about
Sherman mode. Burn it down.
A lot of people
move
say
on, baby.
you should
Sherman
be more
mode.
thoughtful. I think I'm going to try to be more thoughtless.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Martin.
thoughtlessness.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my back.
no, seriously, the harder I
So then I can't see it, but then I can always like look in a mirror and read it backwards and be like, yeah, stop thinking so much, Hannah. Just do. Anyway, keep going.
see you Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait. You are literally going to get all of my good energy. Anyone else does off, I'm like, I don't care about this person. Where's Martin?
Well, I think we were talking about this before we recorded, but Hannah is emceeing
I am.
the event.
I am.
On the final.
Sunday.
On the
final
finals,
day.
on the head-to-head. And
Which is different than the days prior.
yes.
Because on the days prior, we hit in groups of 16. All of those groups are being cut in half, and the bottom half is being eliminated. So we go through a point system of those 16 guys. Everybody is hitting against everyone at some point, right? So we shuffle through the sets, and then, well, the top half is making it to the next day, and none of the scores are being taken over to the next day. So every day is a fresh day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not like in golf when you up the first day, you're screwed. Kind of, you're not playing for the win, right? You're just playing for some type of money or whatever. You can do terrible on day one and still make it through, and the next day is a new day.
Oh, let's start fresh. It's kind of like, don't think about it. Just
Yeah,
do.
it's like in tennis, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you make it through. You made it through.
Made it through.
to the
New
next round.
opponent, new match, and here we go
Yeah.
again.
That rules.
A little bit like the home run derby, where you beat your opponent, then you reset.
Yeah.
Both starting back from zero.
Yeah.
You just
And
got to
I
do
guess-
enough to move on.
Yeah,
right?
or any
Yeah,
playoff format. I guess it's
Yeah.
very common, actually.
Yeah, that rules. I just so you know, and I want everyone to know that I will sabotage in any way, shape, or form to make sure that you take home the victory.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm not opposed to doing that.
I really don't want you to help me because I want to win it by myself. Because
Okay.
Yeah, why do you think he needs
Well,
help,
Mr.
Hannah?
Mr. Nobility over
just,
here.
Let's just not make it public.
Says
okay?
the guy with an
Let's
illegal
talk after
driver
the
in his
pod.
first competition.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. He's just saying that for the cameras. I get it.
Sure.
I get it. This won't come out until after the competition, so they won't even know.
The problem is you're up there on the tee box, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you were down there in the grid and if you would pick up my ball and just throw it a couple yards further, that would actually help, right? But you being up there, I don't think you're that big of a help.
Yeah, but what if I'm just sitting there and I do something like when someone else is
Yeah,
hitting? Because
yeah.
that's really
Shoulder
mature.
fart,
A
rattle.
shoulder fart.
Let's put it this way. Now I know you, right? And
Yeah.
when you're around, your aura is gonna make me hit well.
There we go.
So that's how
You're
you
gonna raise
help
the
me.
vibe.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
raise the vibe. Yeah, yeah. Seth, can you make an aura effect around me right now?
Just like
You
feeling
see
your
my aura?
presence.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the one for me.
Yeah, and I can
will-
put on a ghillie suit and just go hang out in the grid and just
Yeah, just be running.
Yeah.
Oh, that ball stopped and then it started going again. What's that?
yeah, ball hog. We made that video back in the day.
That guy looks like he's
Yep.
6'3", 250.
I'm pretty sure we had that ghillie suit incinerated after how much you were sweating.
we
in
did.
it.
That was the hottest day of my
So we
life.
might have
Yes.
to order a new one.
All right, cool.
You know how in the home run derby, how they have little kids out there catching all the balls?
Yes.
Have we ever considered that for the long drive
Don't do it.
competition?
Don't
Some
do
middle
it.
schoolers out there with little baseball mitts.
I mean,
I would watch.
So
more
I would
more
watch
people
for
would
sure.
watch for that.
how fast is a baseball leaving the bat? At like
It's about 100.
At the most,
115.
like 115. Yeah.
115, and the ball is a lot bigger, so it's probably losing a lot more speed.
And easier to see. Way easier to see.
Way easier
Yeah.
to see. I don't know, like I would not necessarily compare the hardness of the golf ball and the baseball. I think both are pretty bad. But a golf ball, our golf balls leave the club face at 220 plus. So, and
That's
they're
fast.
going 400
And who makes the golf
yards.
ball?
How much? What?
Who makes the golf ball? What brand?
Bridgestone.
Nice.
Hey.
Oh, wow, nice.
Got him. Got him.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on the ball any further.
You said it though. You said the B word. You
just-
signed the
just cut that
contract.
part.
Sorry.
You did the thing.
Let's cut that part. Yeah,
Blood oath.
well, one comment on the golf was actually there are 4 different colors. So when we're hitting at the same time, we're playing the same model golf ball, but they're all different colors because we get live scores. So there's actually grid workers out there in the grid. So nothing is being measured by radar or cameras. They're all measured by hand, and they radio back the distances, and we get them on the jumbotron.
See, that's
So
where the
that's
kids
pretty
could
cool.
help too.
Yeah, grid workers.
The kids could be out there marking the stuff.
The Georgia child labor laws are very lax.
Have them sign a waiver.
Well, there's like 4 times 4, 16 guys out there. Well, you can, I mean, I don't think anyone has ever tried. We could make this a first.
We really could.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't get to bring your own balls, right? They're
No.
going to have the balls there. Yeah, it's not like Tom Brady.
And Bridgestone makes them.
Yeah, it's not like Tom.
It's not like Tom Brady and the inflate gate. Or what is that? Remember when he like
Yeah, you
Deflate
got
gate.
it.
Yeah.
deflate gate? He made the. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but he made the ball a
Yeah.
little softer, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a new meme we can have.
Well, the primary reason
Not
actually
weird.
is the colors, because you gotta have the same model golf ball. Oh, you gotta bring 4 different colors. You gotta make sure that there's 4 different colors in play, and you rotate through the slots.
Yeah.
So, well, if you would bring 4 different colors, in theory, it could be possible, but no real brand is making 4 different color golf balls, right? Because you gotta spot, these grid workers gotta spot the right color straight
Yeah.
away and radio back the distance. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Whoa. And is it white, yellow, red, green?
It's a white.
You're not going to
yellow,
know anyway. You can't see color.
Stop.
All right.
Yeah, he's colorblind.
Pink,
He's colorblind, so it doesn't
Pink.
matter.
Fun.
right? Yellow, pink. I'm missing one color, and orange.
Okay.
Okay.
They're
Do you
all
have
like
one
the
that you
bright
prefer?
neon.
You feel like you hit one better than the others?
So they always change. Like last year, we had top flight golf balls, and one of them was blue. Great idea. Well, when it's very cloudy, it's pretty cool to spot, but with a blue sky that we haven't won most of the time, you just can't see it.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on the lighting, it's like, it really depends. Like sometimes the yellow golf ball is amazing with like light from behind. As soon as you hit into light, you can't see it. It's really just about how well you can see the golf ball.
I hope the guy at Top Flight who made that blue ball hears this and he just sits at home being like, why did I do that? I can't believe I made a blue ball.
We had this one color left over, and we just
Martin's traveling the world on my ball. This sucks.
Keep it.
Keep it. Sorry.
Keep it.
So
And
that's what-
there's a lot of blue balls jokes.
There's a lot of
You
blue
can
balls.
Oh,
make.
there was a lot of blue balls jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, me being German, I didn't know about the saying.
Right.
I learned a lot about it over
the
the last
feeling.
couple of
Yeah,
years.
you
Yeah,
can Google
it was
it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
Pretty
Nice.
good. Okay, I want to know about the gear. I mean, you touched on it. There's obviously the super low loft on the club, the flex of the shaft. How high are you teeing it? The glove you're using. I'm just curious, like what your whole setup is.
What would you think in terms of shaft?
I would think
Girthy.
flexy,
Flexy.
More wobbly.
Strong.
Flexi Thompson. You know,
That's actually pretty good, because in the meanwhile we got the word out there, right?
Yeah.
With all the athletes talking about it, but like 3-4 years back, people were like, "Oh yeah, you have a 5X stiff, right?" In the meanwhile, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So it's very flexy. You want to unload it correctly. So
I think
you
it's the
add more
photos I've
speed.
seen where you're at the top and it's just an arc.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you want the club to bend, right? Like the idea is like it bends really fast and then it whips.
whip,
Because
yeah.
I was watching a lot of videos and I'm like, it is so fast. You're hitting
Yeah.
the ball so fast.
yeah, it's about loading and unloading the shaft correctly, like a whip.
Okay.
Because the better you unload it, the more speed you can generate, right? And also at the same time, the more effortless the swing is, because
Yeah.
you're whipping it, right? The shaft is doing a lot of the work.
The shaft
right?
does a lot of the work.
Yes, exactly right. And the better you use the shaft, the more speed you can generate and the further you can hit the ball.
And you're so sorry not to go, but I was reading up that you focus more on speed. Some guys are like, really, but you are like, speed is kind of your thing, right? Like you try and focus on instead of just pure power.
Well, yeah. So you have to have a certain speed to be able to compete with the best in the world, which is, I would say, around 215 miles an hour ball speed on a regular basis. And then when you optimize that shot based on the conditions, so for example, when it's downwind, you need a bit more spin. You want to hit the ball higher, right? So so it stays in the air for longer, so the wind can push it more. You can really be competitive on a world stage. And then from there, it's really just about how well you optimize the shot. So 215 or 218, or let's say 223 or 226 is not going to make that much of a difference, but the optimization of the shot is going to make the difference. And then you got to, hit that straight down the grid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, OB balls at 250 ball speed wouldn't do a thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Is there like a terminal velocity where like the ball can't go faster than? People get to it, or is it above what anybody could do?
Well,
there's no ceiling with Bridgestone golf balls.
it depends on how much.
I forgot.
It depends on how much you want to talk about the golf ball. But what we figured is that pretty much low 220s is optimal for this golf ball.
Cool.
And you have pretty good control of like, do you know when you hit it, you're like, oh, that was like 220 miles an hour. Like, do you have an idea?
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea.
Okay.
But sometimes I'm surprised because when the adrenaline kicks in, oftentimes I'm a lot faster than I actually think. Mm-hmm. So it depends a little bit, but obviously I know that it was a good shot, right?
Yeah.
But I can probably, in practice, I can tell you like on the number. But in competition with adrenaline, it's a little different. Most of the time I'm faster than I think.
Yeah, because you do see that moment where you guys are obviously swinging as hard as you possibly can. You're screaming. It's just a full unload of emotion, adrenaline, all of it. And there's that moment of like, it's in. Like as soon as you hit, you're like, that was the one. Like you usually can see that.
Yeah, and then a gust of wind takes it, and it's barely going OB, right? It happens because
or hits one of the kids in the head. And,
you got to think like our balls are up in the air for like 9 to 10 seconds, so it's a long, long time. And the longer it flies, the slower it gets, right throughout the flight. So the longer it's in the air, the more the wind can do with it. So sometimes when the ball is falling down, right, a gust of wind can actually take it and blow it OB. It's kind of interesting. So we've seen that a few times, especially in Mesquite. I don't know if you've seen the Mesquite videos with like the big mountain in the background, right? That's an interesting type of grid because the wind is kind of going across, sweeps across that mountain. And it doesn't, like on the tee box, it doesn't seem like it's blowing to the right, but down there, it's actually blowing to the right. So it's kind of interesting what's happening. So that's why I don't really know how Bobby Jones is going to treat us. So let's see.
Yeah. And what you were saying earlier, it's helpful to watch other people to be like, oh, I see what their ball's doing. That's not what I was expecting. Or hey, when you landed on this side, it's got more room to run. And
100%.
Because the way it's happening this weekend is it's how many days of competition before the final round?
So we have 5 days in total. The first 2 days are just the first day for each of these groups because we have too many competitors. We have 128 competitors
That's a
from
lot.
all over the world, right? From Japan, Australia, a lot of European countries, everything. And well, that's why we have to spread out the first day over 2 days. So that's Wednesday and Thursday. And we have Friday, Saturday, and then the big TV matches, the top 8 on Sunday.
Wow.
Top 8. Brought to you by Hannah Reyes Leeson.
That's right.
Our winner, my prediction, Martin Borgmeier.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah. Is the community of long drive folks pretty tight? Do you know most of them? Are y'all friends? Are there rivalries? What's that?
I mean, there's
like?
for sure rivalries.
Yeah.
But there's also different types of groups that are really good friends.
Yeah.
So because you spend so much time together when you're traveling all these places that, well, obviously there's the bonding is crazy. And there's like, for example, teamhitbombs.com. That's also on my shirt, which is mine and Josh Koch's team, which kind of all of a sudden started to exist. We didn't plan on doing this, but all of a sudden it kind of started because we were starting to post on social media. And then there's Team One Stop Power Shop, which is kind of the rival kind of group that is practicing in a different area. And it's cool because that kind of started evolving over the last couple months. And there's just more to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good for the sport.
Helps each other,
I
right?
absolutely love it, right? And I absolutely love when the other side is getting offended of like certain things.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So I'm kind of, it's not like I'm not steering the
Yes,
pot, right?
but
I absolutely love it because especially what's going on Instagram and social media in general, it's just cool to see.
Totally.
Yeah. So is it not? It's not just this week out there hitting balls. You're like, you get a little mind games the weeks leading up to it.
Oh, we have a whole season going on, right? So we already had like 9 events this year.
Yep.
So it's minor events all leading up to this, but I mean, all I can say is we had a different champion at almost every single one of these events. I think only Bryce Plank, who is on Team Hit Bombs, won 2 events this year. Wow. And it's just, it shows the depth of field. It's crazy, right? Because mostly the guys that are the biggest on social media get the most attention, obviously, right? But in the sport in general, there's so many more players. And my prediction, there's like 30 guys out there that can win this world championship, that have the skill set, the speed, and the stamina to win this. So it's not like I'm just going out there and I'm just taking it, right? Because I won last year. No, it's like the 128, that number only, like, it shows how crazy it is to actually make it to the last day.
Whoa.
So cool. It's Hit Bombs and One Stop Power
Shop.
You gotta say hitbombs.com because it rhymes and stuff.
Hitbombs.com.
Just
One Stop
go
Power
with
Shop.
hitbombs.com.
When you guys show up to events, do you guys kind of square up, you know, like the Jets and the Sharks? Like, do you guys ever like walk in?
turf
Are
war?
you guys
really
like turf
want to.
warring? You know, you're snapping at each other.
I mean, teamhitbombs.com is trying, right? We got the shirts. We all got the same shirts, right? Jay Lindenberg was nice enough to start sponsoring Team Hit Bombs from the get-go. Yeah, that was awesome. And well, I would love to see Team One Stop Power Shop actually trying to do something about it, right? They're just kind of there. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on, guys. You little wimps.
So I'm trying to figure out, are y'all the
have-
Globo Gym or the Average Joes from Dodgeball? Have you seen Dodgeball?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I'm German.
sick.
Did you know I'm German? Right?
Y'all have movies over there, right? Do you have
Dodgeball.
movies?
I don't even know what Dodgeball is.
Ben Stiller, Dodgeball? You've seen that movie.
No,
Vince
I don't
Vaughn?
know. I don't know what that is.
All
They
right.
probably didn't dub it.
That's the most Globo Gym.
There's a
That's the most Globo Gym
Dodgeball
answer
guy,
possible. So I think we have.
this guy's Globo Gym. I mean, look at him. That's Globo Gym.
Globo Gym.
Yeah.
Hey, which-
Whatever it is, I agree with you.
Cool.
Yeah,
Exactly
yeah.
right.
That's safe. Yeah.
I like that.
You guys should do like on the side like arm wrestling competitions between the two teams.
Before hitting or after?
Whatever, I don't know.
Oh, before, because then when you win,
decide.
which you will win, they're gonna go, we can't go out there. It's gonna talk about a mind game. And then I'll bring it up on the stand. I'll be like, oh, here comes up One Stop Shop. They lost in an arm wrestle because they're big sissies.
Yeah, that would be good.
And I was
Great
gonna-
idea. Let's try.
Yeah, mind games.
Let's try. Let's do
It'd be
it.
pretty bad if somebody got injured from arm wrestling before the real thing.
Yeah.
But I think we're coming up with a lot of good ideas on
think
this
it's pretty
podcast
good.
between
I
the
think it's
kids
pretty good.
catching the balls and the arm wrestling before the
Yeah, the 48 inches. Like
Yeah.
all this stuff.
It's a lot of
yeah.
good stuff. I love that golf. Obviously, regular golf is cool, but I love that there's like this golf adjacent competition that's so different, but obviously like the same vibe. And I was thinking, I wish more sports had like adjacent things. So I came up with a list of like how other sports could do like similar. I want
Yeah,
to see
cool.
if you guys
Oh,
think these
yeah,
are good
okay.
ideas or not, if that's okay.
Great.
I do.
On a
I'm the
napkin?
one on the podcast that does like the most research and the most preparation. So.
Sure, you're an accountant.
Yeah, that's right. Tennis longest whack competition.
Longest whack.
Like how
Yeah,
far the
like
ball goes?
How far they can whack it with a toss it up and hit it. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
We could probably pass on that one.
Soccer, who can head it the furthest, and they're allowed to launch it at their heads from a machine as hard as they decide.
Yeah, MLS does a skills challenge for All-Star Weekend, and they have a heading competition. I don't know if it's furthest.
No, I want to do furthest.
Got it.
So it's like basically how hard are you willing to let it bounce off your head?
Oh, it's just headers. It's not
Just headers.
footsies. Okay.
No.
I think the more entertaining one would be,
Okay.
yeah, how fast Could the ball fly at you where you could head it without like?
Getting a concussion.
It
Break-
doesn't
your
even
neck.
matter how hard it bounces off. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
can you take it?
I also think that would be a
I
really
noticed
good
that
one.
Martin's not really chiming in.
I just think like with that one, can you also add a stipulation like get hit really hard and then they have to do a math question right after? How much retention do
I
you
like
have?
that.
And walk in a straight line, like
Walk in
DUI
a straight
test.
line.
Yeah, it's like we're
Are you having a good time?
I'm just trying to like I understand the words. I'm just trying to process them, translate them, and see if they make sense.
Polo, who can throw their horse the furthest? That's a dumb one. Sorry, I said that one. Bowling, quickest strike. So who from the time it leaves their hand until the strike happens can do it the fastest.
That's pretty good.
That one's actually pretty good.
speed
It's
bowling
like ball speed.
It has, yeah, it has to
Ball
be
speed.
within the. It has to still be a strike
Within
but
the
who
grid.
can get it the quickest? That'd be good.
Yeah.
And then last one is hacky sack. Who can hack the highest sack?
How? Oh, in the air? Do they?
Yeah.
It's just how high it goes.
They have
or
to
do-
receive it. They have to.
Yeah, you have to receive it back on the way down.
I didn't really think about that.
Okay, clearly you haven't hacked. I used to hack.
So any of those?
Really, you used to hack?
Yeah, I used to hack a little bit.
What did you?
We've hacked too.
Just to hack up a lung when you were smoking those cigs.
Got
You
me.
play you ever play
Really good.
3 hack whack? That was the game we would always
I wanted
play.
to be cool. I wanted to be so cool. I was like, I want to try everything. And so I bought a skateboard, then bought a hacky sack. And
You
then
did both at the same time?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
pretty
I was just
dangerous.
skateboarding
Like-
while hacky sacking. It didn't last very long. I could probably get like 7 to 8 hacks without it falling on the ground. I don't know if hack is the word, but
Why don't you bring a sack on Sunday?
okay.
Yeah.
For you and me, like
Yeah.
we can hacky sack, and I'll be like, just me and my boy Martin hacky sack.
Would you do competitions or would it just be like for fun? Because we would play 3 hack whack.
No, it was just for fun.
You didn't do sack offs?
I didn't do sack offs. I'm not.
Nope.
No sack offs for
I
me.
don't think we have a halftime show yet.
Oh my god, it could be you and me.
Yeah. Why not?
That would be so fun.
That would actually be really fun.
Yeah, bring a sack.
Did you,
Okay,
grow
I'll
up
bring a
play, you
sack.
play a little soccer growing up, maybe?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm German. I have to.
Yeah.
You're forced.
I'll also bring a basketball, and we can do box out competitions just on each other.
Love it. Without a ball, without a basket.
Without a ball,
Just
without a
boxing
basket.
out.
Just you and I boxing out. Who can box out harder and longer? This is gonna rule.
Yeah, that's the basketball version. Box out contest.
Box out contest.
Box
That's
out.
really good, actually.
Yeah.
Just,
Who can set the hardest pick?
yeah.
Because we were both.
Hardest
Yeah,
pick
who can set
Who
the
can
hardest?
take the hardest charge without falling over?
You don't tell the other people what the competition is because they can't be braced. Every shot, will you get data in real time about like, hey, that one I swung, I hit it 220?
Oh, yeah.
Or will you
I don't
have
know.
to check after? Okay.
I hope so. I mean, on TV for sure, because we see the live cast and we see it. They had tablets set up in the past. I don't know if that's going to be the same this year. I hope so. It helps a lot, and
bet.
I just hope that if they do it, that every slot gets the same data, and that it's going to be. Well, it's not going to break because I think in the past we had a few connection issues or whatever. And so I just hope that if they do it, that it's going to be fair because it helps so much to see a distance come back
Yeah.
and the according spin rate. Whew. So I hope so.
Yeah, you were just touching on something I don't even think about, bounce. And like you said there's like a hot and a cold. So like depending on how it hits, it's going to affect how much it bounces. I didn't even think of that.
Yep. That's the differentiator. When you think about it, long drive, we hit it like 400 and whatever yards, but the difference between the matches sometimes is like 2 yards.
Yeah, I
It's
bet.
like the rollout. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the bounds. And sometimes, like for example, in King Sport, I outcarried Jack Smith in my match by like 10 yards, but he had a 20-yard rollout. He hit the better spot. Or
Yeah.
he played the better ball flight for that grid, like whatever it might be. It's not always just about hitting the good shot, but also hitting the right spot.
It's not- yeah.
And all that. Descent angles, there's a lot to it.
It's just not about how you hit it. It's about how you like hit the sweet spot, finish.
And I love that
Exactly.
it's a sport where a lot of people would look at it and be like, it's just a macho thing. Who's the strongest? Who can swing the hardest? But it really is still so strategic, so data driven. And then obviously you got to be in great shape and be able to put the swing together. But
Yeah.
there's a lot more that goes into it than somebody that's maybe like just seeing a video one time.
Yeah,
So
and being in great shape is very much, in my opinion, is very much about longevity of it, right? Because I mean, if you would swing the way we do without working on the body,
Yeah.
you can do that for like a year or two, and then you're out.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
with
That's
something.
why we're
right?
6'4", 250 specimens. You know.
Exactly
yeah.
right.
You're doing a lot of stretching before competition.
I used to do it's more of a dynamic warm up in the meanwhile, because in terms of flexibility, I really believe it's like as soon as you can hit all the positions, in the swing, it gets less important. It's really just about warming up the body in a dynamic way, being athletic and like all that, and then just swing your swing, because you don't want to do anything like new, like in competition.
Right.
You're pretty athletic. You work out a fair amount.
Yeah, every now and then.
What can you bench press?
You want the pounds, right? I only know the
pounds.
kilos. What is it? Like it's times 2.2, right? Let me do the math real
Just
quick.
tell us kilos, and producer Paul can tell us.
It's around like 5 times 5 sets, like 250.
You can bench press 250 pounds?
Yeah, I think.
So you think you could bench press
did I do
me?
the math right? How much is that?
think you
Is
could
that
do-
like it's like 110 roughly kilos? So
Paul's calculating it.
maybe 245. 242. Look,
You can
I
bench press
exaggerate.
242 pounds? So you could literally bench press me.
Yeah.
Like if you laid down right now and I went flat as a board, you could bench press me.
Yep.
Yeah, Hannah,
Maybe you don't wanna try to
I
hurt
think
your
you're
wrist
under
right
that.
for the
Oh yeah, maybe
competition,
don't
but-
hurt your wrist, but you could.
I don't think
Right. You can keep that
I don't
aside.
want to ask you how much you weigh, but
Yeah,
no,
I don't
it's
think
not.
you're close to his max weight.
I know. I'm not. Don't worry about it.
What's the most important muscle group for a long drive competition when you're working out? Which ones are you? Is it core? Is it legs? The brain?
the
Good.
body.
Yeah.
Just the whole body.
It's like I don't think there's any movement in any sport. Maybe there might one that involves so many muscles, because it's everything, right? It's rotational, it's like left and right, forwards, backwards. You use basically everything. And if I had to pick one exercise, it would be jumps.
Wow.
Like
Really?
maybe rotational jumps, maybe something like that, right? So actually, my basketball workout from back in the days is still like 80% the same today.
Oh, that's cool.
Because most of the stuff is just in basketball is just powerful, dynamic moves, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same in golf. It's just a little shorter.
Yeah.
Rotational jumps makes you think of a kid that'll come up and be like, "Want to see me do a 360?"
Yeah.
And they just do a 360.
Yeah.
And they're like, "That's it. That's it." You know?
Yeah, it's
love
actually
it.
pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
You think you could do a 360 jump?
Maybe.
I don't think I could.
You gonna try it?
360
Will you
is
try it
far.
real quick?
I'll try it after.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here. You gotta go limber up and practice, and I don't know what
And
the hell you
chill.
do.
I got to hit the hot tub actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
I
Gotta
got an
relax.
appointment.
Pretty cool when hot tub is a part of your job.
Hot tub.
Yeah.
What a life.
I do want to ask one more question. I think you're such a great billboard for the sport. I mean, you're such a great personality. You're
appreciate
great at
it, yeah.
content. It's just,
Yeah.
I know World Long Drive loves you for good reason. What can we expect from the sport going forward? I know it was a big last couple years. You're on TV again. It's traveling now, the championship. Like, what can we look forward to? What are you stoked about in the next couple years?
In my opinion, this should turn into something like the UFC, because people really don't care about like how far we hit it. It's like it's a whatever, unless you know the people involved.
Yeah.
Because when you know the characters, when you know the personalities, you know the rivalries and all that, you want someone to win or lose. And I want people to love or hate me. Right. I want all those DMs like, you screwed up my bets like here and there, whatever. Right. I want those DMs. And as soon as we get to the point that people care about the personalities, then we can go to war. And then people care about those battles.
Yeah.
Right. So we got to involve the personalities to some capacity. And I think social media helps a lot with all the stuff that some of the guys already do. But there's so much potential with so many great personalities. I mean, I just mentioned two of them. Great personalities. Nobody knows them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I try to grow those guys as well and girls as well with my socials. I try to involve them in a bunch of videos. And I think if everybody works on that, we're in a good spot, because Long Drive, with all the stuff that I just touched on, right, is so great to watch.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's even better when you know who's battling it out.
That's true. I mean, that's true. When you're watching UFC, you like pick a side.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's all about
Everyone-
star building. Yeah. Getting to know those people.
And I feel like for kids, you know, too, that like maybe aren't going to sit and watch a whole round of a golf tournament. I can see kids getting so into this because it's so like physical, easy to understand at a basic level, and like easy to get fired up about the cool big guy
It's so
that's
exciting.
hitting the ball.
Yeah.
Half of our friends, you know, with the St. Andre thing starting a year ago, are like, I just don't like golf. It's kind of boring. And I'm like, I know some golf that's not boring.
Not
Yeah.
boring
At all.
More
And
on
also
drive.
keeping the connection to golf is super important, because it's so connected. We're playing golf.
Right.
We're just doing all of that on a very extreme level. And I'm always talking about the power elements. We're just like, let's say there's 15 of them. we just try to turn them up as much as we can, all of them. In golf, you try to use like maybe one or two depending on the player, and you still utilize the same principles, but just not as much. So keeping that connection and getting away from the stigma of us just trying to whack golf balls as hard as we can and we can't putt, that Happy Gilmore kind of created. But that like keeping that connection and seeing the good sides of long drive for golf as well, I think is super important. And when we connect the two bits that I just mentioned, we're in a good spot.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, this rules.
Fired up.
Yeah,
I can't wait to find someone I hate on Sunday.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I show
Because
you.
I need to find someone I hate
I
because
show you to hate.
yeah, I love you and I love you. You're going to show me? Yeah, tell
might need
me.
a secret little code word to be like, this is a guy you should hate.
Yeah.
What
Just
would
look
be
at me and
good?
go, hate.
Do you want to practice your call of Martin winning to sign us off?
Oh, yeah,
And then we got to shake hands and take our hats off and do the
Okay.
whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, and here it goes. Straight down the middle. No cut. My God. 431 yards. Our winner of the world's longest drive, Martin Borgmeier.
Yeah.
I take it.
Yes.
All right, now wait. Goodbye.
Okay, this is it. Yeah. Yeah. Pleasure. Yeah. Hope to see you again.
Thanks
Good luck
for
out
sure.
there. Yeah, absolutely.